Did you know, according to some studies, that on any given day, we're lied to from 10 to 200 times? Now, of course, yes, these are often white lies, but some of these lies may very well be a malicious act that could potentially do you harm. And that's why it's important that you understand how to spot a liar. Not relying on these typical telltale signs that you've probably come across online, but more from a psychological point of view, so that way you get the edge over these con men and criminals that's trying to do you harm. And that's why it's important that you pay close attention to every single one of these signs I'm going to reveal to you today, because I'm going to be revealing the 5 signs you're being lied to. So make sure to pay close attention, especially to the final sign, because I've saved the most important till last. So let's go straight on to the first sign, which is behavioral patterns that's beyond verbal language. One of the things you want to get great at is listening to, of course, what they're saying, but also looking beyond that, because realize criminals and con men are great through convincing you, persuading you through verbal language. So try to listen to what they're saying, but try not to be brainwashed or manipulated through their verbal language. Instead, where your focus should be going is more towards calibration. And what calibration is the art of taking a mental snapshot of a person's emotional state. The reason why calibration is a better reference frame than looking for telltale typical signs that you probably have heard of online is because people express themselves differently from other people. So you could look at calibration like measurement. What you're looking to do is measure how they express themselves. You're looking, you're listening, you're feeling for clues and cues that mark a particular emotion in a person which is unique to them. So you want to ask the person you want to test this on questions that you know 100% is truth, and notice how they react. And after that, you want to ask a question that you know 100% is false. And look out for the following. You want to be paying close attention to their voice tone, their posture, facial color, eye accessing cues, which we'll go on to next, and pupil dilation, muscle tension in the face and forehead, angle of the forehead, lower lip size, breathing pattern. So overall, you've got to get the bigger, broader picture of how this person expresses themselves when they're telling the truth and when they're telling the lie. And that way you get a clear indicator of when somebody is telling the lie. Now let's go on to the second sign, which is to observe the eye pattern. Here's an example on the screen here right now. So as you can see on this image, when the brain is creating a picture, the eyes will look at the top right, which is your top left, okay? And this signifies accessing to the right hemisphere creation and the visual cortex. If someone is recalling a picture, remembering something that they actually saw, then they will look up and to their left, which is your right. So what you should do is you should ask questions that make them recollect the image in their mind. And notice if they are either dreaming up an image, so making it up, or they're recalling an image by the way their eyes are moving to different directions. And of course, it's worth mentioning a good liar can prevent any of these signs occurring when they're telling a lie, depending on how good they are. And that's why it's important you pay close attention to the next sign, which is look for signs of stress. Because when under stress, you'll show snippets of your true emotions on your face. But these are micro expressions that occur within milliseconds. So one of the first things you should look at is the facial expressions in general. If, for example, somebody's showing signs and symptoms of stress, they normally have twitchy eyes and lip movements. They may also have awkward timed smiles to release some awkward energy that they may be feeling from the lie that they're telling you. Another thing to look out for is hand gestures. If there is too much touching, the reason why this tends to happen is stress negatively affects nerve endings, which causes people to feel itchy. So if they are particularly itchy when they're telling you a story, this may be a sign that they're lying to you. Another thing is fidgety feet. Twisting, tapping, or whatever it may be, we have the least control of our feet and we're not very conscious of it when we are tapping with our feet. So look for the feet and any irregular patterns or tapping or fidgeting, because this could also be an indicator that they are stressed in that moment. Now, another thing you need to pay close attention to is the fourth sign, which is language patterns. There are numerous things you need to look out for, such as liars tend to manipulate verb tenses a lot. For example, if you ask, have you ever used illegal drugs? They may answer, I don't use illegal drugs. Now think about this for a moment. This subtly dodges the question you asked, and they didn't really answer your question at all. So they're dodging your question. Another language pattern you may notice is them answering back your question with another question to buy time to think of a lie that they could follow through with. So for example, if you were to say to them, hey, were you in the office last week at 9 a.m? They may reply, oh, I didn't catch that. I was just busy. What did you say? Now, there's a chance, of course, they may actually want real clarification, but they may also be lying to you. So it's important that you watch their nonverbal language whenever they want further clarification. Also, another thing to look out for is unnecessary filler words. This shows nervousness and signs of stress, such as, I'll try, oh, you see, the truth is, to be honest, maybe, to tell the truth, actually. Sometimes they say this because it's buying up more time that allows them to tell a lie following through. So that is the fourth sign. Look out for the language patterns. So let's go on to the final sign, which I believe is the most important, which is your gut feel. You see, psychological science found that we all have preset instincts for detecting lies, but they're often overridden by our conscious. You see, when you've got a relationship with somebody who may be lying to you, you've got a cognitive bias towards them. And that's why even if the person is doing something wrong, you may justify why it's still right because of the cognitive bias and the relationship you've built up with this individual. Now, one of the things I want you to always realize is this: your heart never lies. Your heart just knows from a gut instinct. It's almost like when you've ever met somebody that you felt a little bit dodgy with, but you ignored that feeling, and then you listen to your head and several months down the line you get screwed over. It's because your heart knew, but you ignored it. But we often manipulate the information that our heart's trying to signal to our mind. And that's why it's important to ask yourself, how does my heart feel? What's my gut feel in regards to this individual? And depending on that answer, that may very much tell you whether or not you're dealing with a liar. So these are the 5 signs that you're being lied to. I hope you found today's video helpful. If you have, by the way, be sure to share this video with your friends and loved ones, and that way we can educate the masses and we can transform the world together. So make sure to share this video with your friends and loved ones, and like this video if you like this video, and comment below in regards to any questions, feedback you may have. And as always, Insider, follow your heart, my friend, and take action and go live the life you're truly born to live. I'll see you on the next video soon. Take care.